Good. We're good, good. We're good and good morning. Grand rising and whatever your salutation is whenever you wake up in the morning time, whatever you say to give someone else a greeting to allow you to know and them to know also that, hey, God has touched us, He has blessed us, we are alive and we are awake in this day. Whatever your salutation is, that's what I give to you on this morning. And I do say good morning and grand rising. This is the day. We've already had prayer in this place, in the training center on today. And I'm just grateful for the words that Mother spoke whenever she prayed on today. She said in the prayer, and it is so very true, we don't even have yesterday anymore. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow we don't know about. However, she said, all we have is right now. Right now. Hallelujah. She said, right now. And so I thank God for the prayer that had been made in this place on today. And she did cry, Abba, yes. Father. She said, our Father. And she said, Abba, Father. She remembered to bring everybody in. Although you did not hear, she remembered you. She brought you in with her, with us. As she went before the throne on this morning, knowing that God is our source and He is our supplier. He's the one that supplies everything that we have need of. And on this morning, we're just grateful to be here. As I said, whenever I gave the introduction earlier, to invite you to tune in at 9 o'clock with us, I said that Danielle was a little bit under the weather. Didn't know if she would be able to sit in on this morning, but I'm grateful on today for what I'm grateful for her presence and even for what is present in her body. Mm-hmm. Somebody come on. He said in everything. That's right. To give thanks. He said in everything to give thanks. See, we only want to thank Him for the good things, right. But you have to learn how to thank Him for the bad things. Right. And I'm going to hit this right here real quick because y'all might have heard that. Mother, turn that phone off. Thank you, ma'am. As I was saying, she might not be feeling that well in the body, but she's present here in the body on this morning. Yes, and for that, I'm grateful. Just thank God. I pray and trust in God that everything is well with you, wherever you may be tuning in and listening in. And I already know that in some places and in some cases, everything's not. But what we have to do is we really have to be able to depend on this word and to trust this word, what God has already said. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm opening up right now in with the teaching because this still yet is a part of it. People have allowed us, I even as a pastor in times past, have led people to believe, and we wanted you to believe that God was going to do something. God is going to do something. But in actuality, He has already done. Yes. That's the actual fact concerning God. Mm-hmm. We need to stop praying and asking God to do, because once, and see, this is in the lesson, is all about our perception of things. We read things and we can read things as it is, but we may not understand that there is another, what is written, it is written, but what is the understanding that we need to get from what is written? Mm-hmm. And we listen to what other people say and we perceive it as they have said it. However, God will even allow you to know in places and spaces that there is another way of looking at it. But listen, this is what's key. The word perception, the first two words, if I were to give you a definition for it, is the ability. So that lets you know that in the ability, you are able. You can. You have, you own, you possess, it's yours. The ability to be able to see something different than what was said, even so, you have that ability. We literally do have that ability to be able to see what it is. And as 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter and the 18th verse says, I won't get into all of this, but I'm running too fast this morning because I wanted to open up in this way. I promise you, we're going to get into that. And that's what we're dealing with, because until you're able to see what is not seen, and live in what you don't see, like you know that it already exists, you're going to always remain where you are. We will always remain right now where we are. Mother said in the prayer, we thank God for the right now. Right now. And so with her saying that, and what I'm saying on this morning, we have to start right now where we are, knowing that we have the ability to see. Really what we have the ability to do is to create our own environment. I'm not talking about where you live, but I'm talking about how we live. We have the ability through our perception of what their reality is. We have that ability to change what they have even said, to make it and to create it into what we want it to be. We literally do possess that. And when I'm saying that, what I wanted to say, what I wanted to open up with on today was this. Our todays always run from maybe from our yesterdays, our last month, because it just depends on what comes to us when it comes to us. And yesterday I found myself in my home, and I was sitting and I was in my journaling time, and I thought about this, and I literally wrote it down. And I want everybody on this morning, I want you to literally write this down, or I really know that I believe you need to write it down. Write it down, put it on your mirror in your bathroom, put it on your refrigerator, put it wherever it is you're going to be in the course of a day, any place, anywhere that you stay for any period of time. And put it there. Take it with you in your heart. I want you to put this down. I want you to write this. I make no excuses and give no apologies for. That's it. I'm not going to even tell you mine, and I don't want you to tell me yours, because this is something that's in us. And that's where I want to start this morning. I literally want to start with what's in us. And I said this also. Life, society, friends, parents, spouses, significant others, children, everything that I just named comes with and in relationships. Relationships teaches. I want you to soak that in for a second. All relationships teaches. All relationships come with a lesson, and many different lessons. And in every relationship that we have had, we have took something from it, and we have kept those things that we have taken. And those things begin to shape us and to mold us into who we currently are. Think about it, because today I want you to be able to see yourself not in that relationship or in those relationships, but there is a relationship that you have to have that's going to bring you into you, and that's a relationship with you. You literally are going to need to have the relationship that you have with yourself in order for you to become, and I say you, I'm not pointing fingers. Take my you as us, okay? That's just the way I speak. I mean, and I've been trained up in that way, but it's us, me included. We're going to have that relationship, that I with me. See, we use the I, me, and mine, in a different way, but we need to own the I, you, and me. I need to have the relationship with myself that I need, so that I can become who I am. There's a lot of people on today, and you can jump in anytime, Dan. There's a lot of people on today that's literally living lives that other people have created for them. There are people today that are living dreams that other people have dreamt for themselves and impressed it upon you. And now you are currently living their dream, and they're living vicariously through you. But it's time now. It's literally time for us to be able to create our own environment. It's time for us to be able to understand the relationships that we have had that's currently in us, that we run from different, in all different aspects of our lives. And listen, how you treat your children and how you teach your children, or you train your children, is based on how your parents did you. I'm a product of that. She's a product of that. And you, 10 times out of 10, you're a product of that. And in this particular place right here, I want to stop and say, because I'm going to give you something to do. I want to, this is all a part of training. See, if you can do what is said, then you can become who you are. We're looking for messages that sound good. No. We're here to train you so that you can be. That you can be. I was so grateful, and I'm grateful on this morning to be able to bring back up again. And from time to time, you will hear me talk about Tony, because Tony still teaches me the lessons and there have been lessons that he has taught me that today I'm now finding myself understanding and checking it off, and I'm making the grade now. He's been gone since 2019, and this is 2021, and I'm still in class, and I'm still listening. I can still hear, and I can still remember. And this is one thing that he used to do to me at different times. He would give me, he would say, Apostle, he said, I want you to listen to this song. And I was like, oh, okay. He said, no, he said, I want you to listen to this song. And I didn't get it at first, and we have a tendency of always agreeing, because from our conscious mind, what's coming at us and into us from the conscious mind, we're easily and readily, we can adapt, and we can give the answer, we can give the right reaction, we can give the correct response. However, but where we can say that from the conscious, but what I'm going to do is from the subconscious. And what I'm going to do is from the morals and the values and what's been instilled in me, and how I was taught to do this, and how I was taught to believe that, and how I'm supposed to act this. I said, oh, okay. But he had to say it again. He said, no, he said, I want you. And I did not understand it until now. But he would give me different songs that he wanted me to listen to, because he understood that the way one person perceived the song and what was being said, it was totally, and could be totally seen and viewed in a different light than what the other person had said or believed it to be. And so there are songs that I do have. And this morning it came to me because one is literally pressing in my spirit at this time. And I called Danielle, my daughter, and I told her, I said, Danielle, I want you to listen to this song. I said, this song is for you in this season. And I just gave her the song. And I have a song this morning that I want to give you. I want everybody. You don't have to listen to it right now. And I wanted to play it right now, but I'm not going to. But I really want you to sit in your space, in your me place, your me time, and have this time. And I want you to literally listen to this song, listen to the words, and see what you get from it. I want you to see, and I want you to see how you perceive what it is that this song is saying. The song is by Jonathan McReynolds, and the name of the song is Moving On. I want you to literally listen to that song. I'm just going to tell you a few things that's in it. And it starts with, I'm closing chapters. I'm turning pages. And he's saying, glory to glory, faith to favor, but I'm moving on. He said he's getting older. Another person sings this with him. But the two of them together, I want you to listen and you see what message you get for you out of this song. He was saying that his rear view, that's just the past. He said it can't compare to what God has, he said, for his life. But then he goes and says, forgetting what's behind you, he said you have to finally decide to. You have to make that decision. That's the key. That's it. You have to make, and my boy back here says it all, many decisions. Many decisions. But you have to make a decision that you're going to not only move on. Moving on means that you have to cancel some things. You have to leave some things. And everybody gets so emotional in these particular times. But I don't want you to focus on this today as if you have to leave relationships. No, see, you think that you have to leave what's the bad things in order to get somebody else that's good. No. It's not that. In order for us to be able to create our own environment, we're going to have to be able to leave what's in that subconscious mind. Those things that made us now who we are, we're going to have to be able to cancel that. Leave that. And then make a decision. Make the decision. This is the last thing I wanted to say concerning this song. Forgetting what's behind. Focusing on what's inside. Did you like that? Side. Woo! I'm moving on. I'm moving on. And that's where a lot of people are stuck. Some people are stuck. A lot of people are stuck in their parents' colleges, in their parents' degrees, in their parents' occupation, because we came up after them. They said, I want you to do this. I want you to become this. It was what they wanted, but what's in you? What do you want? What did you give up for their dream? What did you gave you up? You gave what it is you are and what it is you were to become. This morning I'm just saying, don't settle. Recognize, realize. It's okay. And even from the degree that you've earned and maybe even the occupation or the status in life, wherever you have gotten to, if it's from what somebody else led you to, other than what the Word of God that He placed out here before anybody came, He put that gift in you. Whatever it is you are, if it's not what you are today, but it is what someone else has said that you touched and agreed with and you came into that, learn in that place. Take whatever it is you need from that. Take it. Everything has some value. But you are the most valued. Come on, somebody. I said you are the most valued. You can earn value. You can earn some things from what someone else has told you or what you have done by obedience. Point blank, period. We take that. But the most value you have not even yet received if you are not who you are.
And may I say this?
May? Yes, say it.
I'm not a statue on this one. I tell God, thank you for me being here today. I'm real. I am. I thank God for His touch. But as you were speaking, even whenever you were giving, paying homage to Tony, one other thing that Tony used to say all the time, and I believe in making the decision that you're going to do whatever you decide to do, is you are allowed at that time, you giving yourself permission to take your power back. Tony would often say, I'm taking my power back. I'm taking my power back, because a lot of times we give our power to decide, our power to go, our power to move, our power to do whatever it is. We give it over to someone else. And us making a decision to move forward the way God would have us to, without any other influence besides that, it gives us the power to get our power back, to get our control back. And that's not a bad thing. A lot of times we do things. I am one of those people. I do it because I understand the relevance to obedience that is placed on the training and placed on the idea that I have to obey in order to please God, which is true. That is a principle of God. Their obedience to obey. But a lot of times we become a little confused. Just a minute ago, just become a little confused. And sometimes, because of the way it's presented, it discombobulates you into thinking that the presentation of it is what it is. Obedience is what it is, do not get me wrong, but whenever someone tries to make you believe that you're wrong or you're disobedient for following the plan that God has for your life, then it's not obedience. And even though it doesn't, what is the words I'm looking for today? A little under the weather I am, but the devil is a liar. Even though it's not mentally or purposeful in whenever the presentation is given, but it's manipulation. That's all I'm saying. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated by what others, I don't care what position they hold in your life, because God is the greatest. The value that God placed on your purpose is greater than you subjecting yourself to manipulation, is what I'm saying. So I believe in us coming into ourselves, seeing what's inside of us and moving from there. God will empower. He's already empowered us to be who we are supposed to be, or what God has granted us the ability to be or to become whenever He placed us here. So it's okay to take your power back. It's okay for you to understand and realize that, yes, they mean well, and all they want is the best for you. Right. And I don't want to discount that, because it's not an attack on any one person or anybody that's in your life, because I'm pretty sure the people who are influencing you, or the people that are in your life that you do hold a lot of honor towards, they just want simply the best for you. However, if their best is not what God's best is, you're still going to have to take your power back and do what God tells you to do. A lot of words, but that's the meaning of what I was trying to say.
And basically, in a nutshell, yes, every last one of us was sent here with a purpose inside of us. That purpose is our gift. Mm-hmm. And one thing about it is that whatever it is, it's in you, mm-hmm. for others. Mm-hmm. So if what you're doing is not in service, as a service, what someone else has a need for, then 10 times out of 10, we're not really in purpose. And as she was speaking, because we have to understand today, I don't, everything that's written is written. Mm-hmm. But guess what? But every last one of us today, you are writing the Bible now for your grandchildren to read. Mm-hmm. You know, so, and I thought about an epitaph that's on the epitaph this morning whenever I was in my bathroom, and you know, and I could see it. It just said, you know how, and someone said this before. It said, like, whoever the person's name, blank was here and now he's gone. He's left his name to be carried on. Mm-hmm. What are you leaving? What are you giving to be left behind that someone else, others, are going to still yet benefit from after you're long gone? We have to really understand that these jobs that we're on, if you're not deployed, then we understand that we're employed. So, but God wants us, with what He's put in us, He wants us to deploy. Yes, we do have to have a job first. We're no different than Adam was. You will work by the sweat of your brow. However, after you have received what it is He has placed in you, and you get the understanding from that, then you are to then give. And you leave the employment, and then you become deployed. So now you have what others need, and others are coming to you for it. So you don't work for somebody. You dominate. That's kingdom. And that's really what that's all about. I even thought about it, and I don't like to literally go to the scriptures, but I do want to show you this, because everything we say is scriptorial, but it is our day-to-day living right now. And that's what it is. It's not, I don't even want you to believe that you cannot create your own environment, because you can. You just have to make the decision that you will. You have to make the decision that you will, yes. So you have to fight everything that has been put in you that has you to the place where you are right now. As I said, you can have whatever you have. You know, you can be happy that you have it, but never be satisfied, because there is more. Never be satisfied with what you have. Never be satisfied. Just be happy with what you have, but never be satisfied with it, because there is more. But as I was listening to Danielle, it's just what God said to Moses. And this is just what, and you can find it through everybody that's in the Word, even in us today. There's only one question. What is it that you have in your? What is it? See, that's the thing. You have to get into a relationship with yourself, the I, the me, the mine, and find out what is it that you have in you, with you, in your hands, in your head. What is it? Because whenever you find that out, then you literally come up out of, you begin to knock down all of the things that you've been told. I mean, keep the good stuff. Keep the good stuff. But whatever it was that made you who you are right now, that's keeping you where you are right now, that's what the fight is against. Because it's not who you are purposed to become. It's not what you are purposed to do. And everybody has the authority. Everybody has the ability to create your own environment. You came here with it. But whenever we came here as an open vessel. And through our parents, teachers, everything, even in life, a lot of things have been placed in us, as I said at the beginning, that has made us, shaped us, molded us into what we currently are. The only thing on this morning, your assignment is to really get with yourself and see if what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you're doing it at. To see whether or not, if that's you, if you're in purpose, is that your environment? I have a spiritual son in Georgia, and one thing I can say about Tim, I do not care how many failures. Listen, that's what the song said. One part of it, he was saying that his mom taught him well. She said, forget the failures. Forget all your failures. You got to focus on what's ahead of you, what's in you. I don't care what the business was, what the business is with Tim. Tim never stops. I don't care if one thing fails, bam. His mind is always working. Somebody get Ecclesiastes, I think it's 11:6 for me, Danielle. That's Tim. Tim is the spitting image of Ecclesiastes 11:6. Is that what it is? Read it for me real quick. I think that's the right one.
Sow your seed in the morning.
That's it.
And at evening, let your hands not be idle.
Hold on. Sow your, how many? One seed?
Mm-hmm. Seed in the morning.
Sow your seed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
What that literally means is it depicts whether Tim know it or not, and he might. But it literally depicts what he is, what he does. He has different things, because this verse right here tells you, wherever you put whatever comes to you to do, whatever is in you to do, if you can see it, see, that's the thing. He's able to see it, and that runs with 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter and the 18th verse. Get that for me real quick. Because what he does, he goes out and he does this business, he does this business, he does this. He's thinking about this one, he's thinking about that one. And all the time, everything is working. He's working it. When one failed, he's still yet working it. Why? Because what the word says. You do what you do what comes to you to do. You don't know which one is going to be the one that prospers, profits, and keeps it on a continual basis. And a continual increase always coming in. And guess what? He's doing it from his hand. He's doing it from his mind. The Word of God says, in one of the books of Psalms, I think it was, but it says, establish the works of our hands. That's what the psalmist was asking God to do, to establish the works of our hands. Tim literally works. Just as much as he puts out, his mind is thinking of the next business. Because he's like, if this one failed, I got this one. That's the way it is. But everybody, stop trying to live off of one. Because you don't know. You need many because you don't know the one that you will live off of. And then 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter and the 18th verse, what does it say?
It says, so we fix our eyes not on what is seen.
Hold on. Because what is seen is what?
It's temporary.
What is seen is temporary. Stop looking at what you right now see. Because what you right now see, guess what? You have seen it before. That's what temporary means. It just means that it's been here before, but now it's coming back, and it's coming back in a different way. Stop fixing your eyes on that. That should not even be your desire. This is what our desire is. This is what's going to cause us to be able to create that environment while we want to live, knowing that it is attainable. What is that, Danny?
Okay, but on what is unseen.
Oh, why? Because what is unseen is what?
Eternal.
See, and it's not talking about heaven. What is unseen is what God wants you to see. It's where God is waiting for you to get to it. For him to show you not only who you are, but what it is you have. Somebody better say something. Yes. Stop looking at what you've seen before. Come up out of where you've been before. Come up out of the morals, out of the way that you've been taught, to know that there is another way. You have the ability on today to see things that you have never seen before. But yet you're able to see it. And the key to being able to have it is when you can see it and stay in it until it manifests.
That goes back to what you were talking about as far as the greatest nation in the world is our imagination.
Yes.
Because if we can imagine it,
come on,
it can be manifested. It can be brought forth. And I understand that it takes the power of our thought, because what we think is what we do. It'll manifest into our doing. If I think a thing, then I can manifest it into doing. Why? Because whenever I sit down and I think about it, I have a plan. And then inside my plan is all the things that I need, the resources and everything else that goes along with the manifestation of my plan.
Yes.
So it keeps me on track. It gives me a little map, if you will, a map from my thought to the manifestation of it.
Right. Who you are is real. Who you are to become is even more so real.
Yes.
It's more so real because our hearts and our minds on today, and I pray that you take, when you leave this session here, that you will leave this session pumped from the decision or the decisions that you will make that you will move. And you cannot move into a place until you see the place where you're going to move to. If you can see it, not what you see now, but if you can see, if you can perceive what has not yet been seen, and if you can stay in that, and if you can hold on to that, I promise you, that's the environment that you will be able to create. You will find out who you are. You will find out what was placed in you before you got here. It doesn't even matter. I don't care how old you are right now at this current moment. Trust me whenever I tell you. If you're not over 90, you still can do it. You can still do it. Your mind working.
And don't even say that. There's no limitation.
No.
The lady that I think she was in her 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I'm not, but it just goes along with what you're saying. The lady that played the grandma in Black Panther, the very first one, she didn't start her acting career until that particular role that she played. So there is no limitation on when you start or where you are, what you have. If it's in you, you can start it at 90. Even there is no limitation. You just have to make that decision.
Making the decision.
Just make that decision.
Morning. Make the decision. Stop thinking that you're too old and you're just waiting for God to come back and get you. He is not coming back for you. We're not going to even get into that this morning. And that's why a lot of people are sitting on their do-nothings doing nothing. Because they think that they have done all that they were supposed to do. If that was true, then you would not still be here living.
That's right.
As long as you have breath in your body, you should be happy with what you have, but never satisfied. Because there is more. And it's not until you make a decision. If you make that decision to sit there and, just like the men did in the Bible, why sit we here? Even they came to a decision. Lepers outside, so they were sitting there and they asking one another, why are we going to sit here? Are we going to just sit here and die? But no, they got up. They made the decision that they was not going to die, but they were going to live. They got up and look, they got up, they went into the camp. They saw all the spoils. They went back and told where they were from. They told them where to go to get what they wanted. Man, these people now lived and lived healed and lived whole. How are you living on this morning? And my ending on the day, and then I'll just let Danielle end with all the niceties and the invitations and the invites that she usually gives, unless she has something else to say, and she very well can speak. But for me, it's stop. I want everybody to stop saying what God is going to do. Stop saying what he's going to do. He's done it. Now he's waiting to see what we do. Not what we say we're going to do. He's waiting to see. Because as long as he can see us doing, then we can always get to what we said he was going to. It's not until you make the decision that you're going to move into what you see that others have not yet seen, that God will then, and when we get to that place, I promise you, and we get that locked into us, it's not the money, it's not the land, it's not anything else that, for what we see, it's not that we don't have it. Our problem has always been, we've always been worried about how we're going to get it. First things first. If you can dream that dream, if God has given you that dream, and you can see it, you can hold on to it, you can even talk about it until it's manifested. But it's not until we're able to see ourselves in that place. Lock into it, hold on to it. After that, once we do that, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about how you're going to get to anything. What's needed, you're going to attract. It's all right. You might not believe it, but there is such thing called the law of attraction. You have to be in position. You have to be in the place that the frequency you're on is the frequency that you see, that the frequency, you have to get on the frequency of that. And everything that you need will be attracted to you in order to get this that you have already seen. It's simple. And we make things so difficult. We try to make things so difficult, but it's not. The simplest thing that we can do is to believe. Mm-hmm. But we seem to think that is the most difficult thing to do. And the way we prove that we think that it's difficult is because you can believe for today, but then when next week comes, you're right back in the same place you were before you believed. Why? Because you didn't see what it was you said you believed. And you can't see what you believe and receive it without making the decision that what you see, you can achieve, and you will stay in it until it manifests.
Or I believe too is one of the harder things, even harder than that, is to convince yourself that you are in unbelief, actually. Because sometimes we have really convinced ourselves that we are believers and that we understand, what it takes in order to be a believer. The hardest thing is to convince yourself that you are in unbelief.
I believe that because Jesus was asking them a lot. Jesus was asking them that a lot of times. Right. Jesus taught your faith. You have little faith. Does thou believe? Right. Can you believe? And then you know what? But Thomas, why don't we just get like Thomas for real? I ain't gonna believe until I see this and I see that. Well, you know what? And a lot of us that's in that particular place, you won't get to that because of what he said after that. He told me, he said, you're blessed because, I'm here with you. You can touch this. You can everything you ask me to do, I can let you do it. He said, but blessed are them that have not seen, but yet believe. 2 Corinthians 4:18. There it is again. You have to be able to believe in what God has for you that he has shown you. You have to stick and stay with him in that.
Or you could be like the man that wanted his son healed. And I believe, but help thou my unbelief. I believe a little bit. I believe a little bit, Lord. But there are some places in reality, if I'm going to be real with myself, if I'm going to be true to myself, if I'm going to be honest, there are some things that, my belief is a little shaken about, Lord. But in those times and in those places, Lord, help me. Help thou my unbelief. Because Lord knows I want to believe you. I need to believe you because you've been proven that what you are someone that I should believe in. You have proven to me on times past, times before, on countless of occasions that yes, you are. But even at that, Lord, this thing here is just really it's just got me. So Lord, I need you now to help me in my unbelief. Because I realize now that I do not believe. Forgive me, Jesus. I just really don't believe it. But show up, Lord, and help me to believe. And I really do believe in those places he will. Even though we should, I really do believe acknowledgement is the first step to help. If I can only acknowledge where I am, then God will empower me in that place to help me on past where I should not be to the place where I need to be.
Faith to faith.
Absolutely.
Faith to faith.
Absolutely. And I wanted to share, even though she said that she didn't want to hear, I had heard a song one time, and just from the lyric of the song, what fell in my heart is, and I constantly say, even whenever I don't believe it, I strive, and I constantly say, just to remind me of who I am. Whenever she had said that I make no excuses for or no apologies for this, that there is a billionaire inside of me. There is a billionaire inside of me. Now, how to bring the billionaire out, lackest thou the information, but there is a billionaire inside of me, and with whatever God is going to take me to in the places, in the pathway of my life, it's going to be pronounced it's going to be announced at that time. Well, this is the reason why you have always understood and knew that there was a billionaire inside of you. Because it is. It's a billionaire inside of you. It's a billionaire inside of all of us. Or whatever you seek to be, or whatever God has purposed you to be, it's already there. It's there. I just need it to be, brought forth. I need the work to come in order for me to manifest into what I know is inside of me. Or
that's
you know is inside
that's
of
what I'm
you.
saying to her. I mean, she specifically just gave the lesson using herself.
Right.
What God is going to. No, He's already done. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? God has already. She knows that's it. What do you know? I didn't put that in her. Now, maybe why she can't rise to the occasion so that billionaire status will be drawn to her is because she's still yet living in the subconscious. She's still yet living in the girl, you got to go, you got to work, you got to go to school, work, you got to get you a job, you got to go to college in order for you to make that money. No. I know that there is a billionaire in me. Mm-hmm. The experience of receiving that billionaire status is going to come from her coming out of the subconscious state. Everything that has already been placed in her from birth up until now, because she still yet don't have what she says she know. That's the key. You don't have what you know because you can't come up out of what you've been known by. And that's the key. Come up out of that. See yourself. Carry yourself.
Right.
And let it attract. See, because that got to see. It has to see itself to you, on you, with you, before it's going to come to you.
Right.
You can't talk this talk, y'all. Woo! I say you can't talk this talk. This is a lifestyle. You're creating an environment. You're creating you. And to be able to create that environment, you have to come up, you're going to come up out of, and then you're going to come up off of. You're going to come up out of what's always been in you, and billionaires don't work. It's all right. You have enough money to employ because you're going to be deployed. The thing of it is for you to be able to break free, to break that barrier from the subconscious mind, to believe and to see. And in this time, we're not talking negativity. We're not on the negative vibe at all. Everything is positive, because once you can break that barrier, because let me tell you what's locked up in that barrier down there at the bottom, down in our subconscious: fear, anxiety, procrastination, hopelessness, lack of belief, everything that's negative, everything that keeps you from being positive so that positive can attract positive. That's the barrier. That's what we have to break free from. Once we can break free from that, and you'll see this on our rise, and you're gonna have to rise up out of, even from the conscious mind, to be able to see what God has put in you and what He's placed in you. You don't have to worry about how it's going to come to you. All you have to do is be able. The greatest thing that keeps us from where it is and where it is we're going and what it is and who it is we are and what it is we have is sight. That's the most difficult thing. You can't see yourself. It's one thing to know something, but in order to have the experience with what you know, you have to be able to see it. For we walk by faith and not by sight. For we walk by. We're moving in faith. Because I've already seen it. Not by this sight that I see here. I'm walking in another sight. I'm walking in something that you haven't even seen yet, that I'm about to produce so you can see it. Woo, it's all right.
And the unseen that is eternal.
Come on. Stop thinking that God is going to, and know that he has already. So who's keeping you from the environment that you want to create, but you're looking for how it's going to be created? That's backwards. See yourself. Make the decision. Make the decision. See yourself. Stay there. Wait for everything that's needed for what you see to be attracted to you. And you will get just what it is. You will create that environment. You will create that billionaire. You will create whoever, whatever. You are. You are to become. You just have to make the decision that you don't want to stay where you are. You want to start today. And again, I say, I make no excuses and give no apologies for why. Whatever. And everything you're going to say concerning that, it should be that there. Because today I make a decision to start right now. And I'm going to go on. And I'm going to go up. And we're going to have just what he's put in us. And we're going to become just what he said we always was.
Okay, so we just want to invite you all to interact with us on our social media platforms. There will be links in the description box, and I believe, however, Mama does on her stuff, you'll be notified of how you can interact with us on our social media platforms. And I just say, God bless you all.
And then before I leave, I just like to leave with this little hashtag, nurturing your body and feeding your souls. That's what we do here at the Crossroads. And for all those, Danny did say it, and nurturing your body and feeding your souls. 9 o'clock, we're here in our training session. 12 to 3, we're in our feeding session. So you can come and visit us, drop by, come and have your physical body nourished also. Until Tuesday, God bless. And we say again, meet us here at the Crossroads. God bless you.